Hey guys, welcome back to podcast number 3. I have got a special week for you guys. We got Maggie here with us. Dr. AJ is in Cancun, so Maggie's going to step in. Maggie is our office manager. You'll see her; she wears a lot of hats around the office. But Maggie, welcome to the podcast. What do you have to say to the people here?
Good morning. It's great to be here.
There we go. Maggie she's in charge of everything that is not practice member care related. So she's the reason that the lights are on. She's the reason that the doors are unlocked. And when we first opened up, it was her and I, and it was just us, right? Mm-hmm. And it's grown to something incredible, but it's because we absolutely love what we do, and we believe what we're doing is adding years to people's life and life to people's years. So a lot of credit, a face behind it all, and I'm really excited to have her with us. So I'm going to point this out, and I'm not even going to fix it. But you see this right here? I do my hair in the mornings, and we're driving in, and I noticed it this morning, but my head just kind of slightly rubs against the roof of the truck, and it creates this friction. So I got this like cockatiel thing going, and I'm just going to leave it. I might even enhance it. I'm just going to rock it today.
Alfalfa.
A little alfalfa-like, but that's okay, right? So yeah, Dr. AJ's in Cancun. So when we found out we were pregnant, and we found out, Dr. Jordan's pregnant, and we're due February 22nd is the day, Dr. AJ, yeah, both. Same day, which is going to be a really fun season, but Dr. AJ's like, I need a baby moon. So he's in Cancun right now, having a great time. He was texting us, just getting ready for a time where Dr. Jordan and I will both be out of the office. And I think it's going to be a really great time for Dr. AJ, but he's taking his baby moon this week. Also, we got our team member, Bree. She's our new practice member coordinator, and it's her birthday. It was her birthday on Monday. Took the weekend to be with her family. Yeah. So those are the two big things in the practice this week. I think it'd be really powerful for you guys to understand that Maggie and I both come, like, our whys are built around our testimonials, right? For myself, you guys, a lot of you know that I broke my femur in 2004 from a football injury. Chiropractic completely changed my life, gave me a lot of hope, and truly helped open my eyes to true health care. Maggie comes from that as well, and I'd love for you guys to hear her story on how chiropractic's impacted her life.
So I didn't start chiropractic until he went to chiropractic school, and he'd been talking about all these great changes he'd had through chiropractic, and I thought it was literally neck pain and back pain. And I told him I don't have either one of those things, so there's no reason for me to see a chiropractor. But I had struggled with allergies and asthma as I got a little older into my teenage years, started getting headaches. That grew into like migraines in my college years. And when we got down to chiropractic school in Texas, I started getting adjusted because I was the guinea pig for the student.
Oh, yeah.
And they were really terrible adjustments sometimes. But over time, I started seeing that my headaches were getting better and my asthma was going away and my allergies miraculously just got better. We were able to have a dog in the house, and I've never been able to be around a dog longer than like 15 minutes without getting like little itchy bumps on my skin and getting all asthmatic, and my eyes would swell up. So that's been fantastic for our family too. Now we have 2 dogs that live in the house. They shed everywhere. That's fantastic.
Well, not the shedding, but yeah. So every time you guys get a great adjustment, just remember it's because I gave Maggie a terrible adjustment. So gotta love it. But yeah, so personally, like, we've seen it change our lives. I remember nights where you'd have a migraine on a Friday night and lights are off. You have to cancel plans, and it's just a major disruptor to our lifestyle. Mm-hmm. So it's improved our quality of life. It's improved our marriage, and chiropractic simply just removes the interference so our body works the way that it should. And when we work the way we should, we feel good. And when we feel good, we tend to treat the people around us better. When we're hurting, it's hard to be nice, right? So we fully believe when people are getting adjusted, it helps you be a better husband, wife, significant other. It helps all of our relationships across the board, and it definitely did with ours too. So.
The craziest thing is we've continued to see reaffirm our belief in chiropractic and what it does for the body through our children. Our children are unvaccinated, and they've been adjusted since day one. And they are some of the healthiest kids that we know. When they get sick, the first thing we lead to is get an adjustment. We're going to get adjusted first, and we're going to see how that changes their body. And typically, they're good within like a day or two.
Yeah. The symptom that we typically see, whether it's a fever or a runny nose or whatever it is, that symptom is the immune response. We don't want to suppress that immune response. I know it's annoying. I know it can sometimes be scary. Our kids have had fevers up to 103, 104, 105, and we've had to have gut checks where we talk to each other and we're like, do we let the body do what the body's trying to accomplish? And the overwhelming answer is always yes. Like the nervous system knows what it's doing, and we might be told like, oh yeah, fever can cause certain problems, but at how long? How long? And it's just the point is the body's doing it on purpose. It's not a mistake, and so we let the body move through when we're experiencing health or sickness, right? We're expressing health. We let the body do that process naturally, and we support it. So rather than suppressing the symptom, we support it with proper nutrition and hydration, and we take the proper rest, and we remove the screens, and we remove the sugar, the wheat, and dairy, all the crap that ultimately suppress the immune system in the first place. This whole idea of flu season's it's a joke. And we won't get into vaccinations today, and I'm not anti-vax. I'm just super pro let the body heal the way God designed it to heal. And we lead with that. And because of that, our children and ourselves, for the most part, our bodies are self-accountable for adapting to stress. Bacteria and viruses are designed to be in our bodies. You have billions of viruses in your body right now. It's not about the virus, it's about your body's ability to keep that in check. And it needs the bacteria and viruses. It needs them. And so when we remove that, antibacterial wipes, whatever it is, hand sanitizer, we're killing off all the good bacteria from our bodies. And then our immune system doesn't know the difference between an invader and a good bacteria. So it just starts attacking everything. And then we wonder where autoimmune disease is coming from. You got to work in harmony with your natural physiology. And every time we do that, we're training it to be stronger and take accountability for that. It's like a veteran going back to war is going to be better equipped than one that's going for the first time, right? He's been there, done that, right? So for the most part, if you have the ability, if it's not an emergency, if it's not a last resort and we've tried everything, work with the body's natural physiology, right? So the point is we've seen that and reaffirmed that in our lives every single day. This is going to be fun. Next part. We're going to do a Q&A, a Dr. Gabriel Q&A. So Maggie's prepared a few questions over here. We'll see where this goes, and I think you guys will enjoy this part.
So my first question, I don't know if a lot of people know me and know my humor, but I like to throw my husband under the bus. And so I want to know, what's the dumbest thing that you've done this week?
So Dr. AJ and Dr. Jordan primarily make the adjustments in the office, right? I'm usually working on the mission of getting chiropractic to the people. So I've been back in the adjusting rooms, and I'm adjusting people, work with a lot of people. We touch a lot of feet, and I get done at the end of the day, and I'm trying to grab a piece of paper, and it's like I can't get two pieces of paper, and I go, before I wash my hands, I lick my fingers. And like, it's not just that I lick my fingers, but I was like, that doesn't taste right. So call them feet hands, right? But like feet hands, like I don't touch anything until I go back and I wash my hands. That was my dumbest moment of the week.
And usually that's the first place you go right after the last adjustment.
Absolutely.
Gross.
Yes. Let's move on to the next question.
Okay. Can you undo your adjustment?
You may not undo an adjustment. And I hear this quite a bit in the adjusting rooms is like, and I joke with people, I say, don't go ruin my work. But the truth is, when we remove interference to the nervous system and we adjust the nervous system, you can't put that same stress back on. Every time that there's a stress that comes into your body that's at a greater severity or magnitude than your nervous system can handle, it will trip a nerve to change the way that it's firing to compensate for that stress. It's like a lightning bolt hitting your house and the fuse blowing to the garage. Okay? What chiropractic's doing is taking that neurological fuse and it's turning that back on. You can't undo that once we do that. So it's not like you go to work and it's like, oh, I shifted it back out of alignment, or I shifted that nerve back off, or whatever it is. No, it's like once it's on, it's back on. You might pile on a new subluxation. Please tell me you guys know what a subluxation is, right? By now you know when bones shift on nerves, it can compress the nerve, it can alter the way that nerve fires, ultimately causing a disconnect of the brain communicating through it and causing dysfunction of whatever it controls. Organ, muscle, tissue, there can be symptoms from that we're typically inspired to and encouraged to treat without ever addressing the functional reason for that symptom in the first place. That is a subluxation. We adjust subluxations. We adjust the way the nerve is firing and the nervous system is working out to those organs and tissues. You cannot undo that. You might add new stress, so you can't undo the adjustment once it happens.
So seeing a new symptom might be good because you're just getting through those layers of subluxation, basically.
Yeah, I like to think about, like, if you're on the computer and let's say you're surfing the web, right? And you're on there for an hour, and then you press back. Everything you did on the computer is recorded. Every stress that your nervous system goes through is recorded, and we have these subluxations packed on like layers. So when you peel back one layer, that previous screen that you were on, that your body has been holding on to, like a window open on your computer, your computer's aware of it. It might not be on the front screen, but it's aware of it. That thing surfaces. Well, any symptoms associated with that neurology are going to spike up as well. So it's like, man, I never used to get migraines. I'm starting to get migraines again. Awesome. Body's finally pulled that crap out from under the rug and it's adapting to it again. You're not going to have these dormant stresses slowly breaking your body down behind the scenes. It's bringing it to the forefront and it's working on it. Fantastic. We call that retracing. We do have a retracing handout in the office that you guys can request if you want more information on it. It is a powerful, powerful thing. But yeah, your body can go back through stresses.
I mean, it's not cool that you feel it, but it's cool.
It's yeah.
The neurology is cool.
It is.
All right. So my next question: what are the main reasons that people are not getting better? They don't get better.
It's a big question. Big question. There's a handful of reasons, and there's a lot of reasons. There's a million reasons that people don't get better. Some of the main ones is people stop way too early, and there's that some people think that they're better because their symptoms go away. Some people don't see any changes, and they're like, man, I made a lifestyle change. I want to see symptomatic improvement. I want evidence that I'm improving. And so they stop because they get discouraged. It's like, I'm better or I'm not getting better. And then they stop well before their body's ever even in a place of healing. Most people that come and see us are in a state of breakdown when they see us. They're actively getting worse. So we try to educate people. If you're actively in a state of degeneration and you're getting worse, you have to stop your body from getting worse before you can get better. And a lot of people get discouraged because they think the symptom's the problem. The symptom was never the issue. But because we feel that, it's a great measuring stick for us, but it can be extremely deceiving. Some of the sickest people on the planet have no symptoms. And Reggie Gold has this old quote that if people with no symptoms were the healthiest people would be in the graveyard. 6 feet under, right? It's not about the symptom. And so it can be extremely deceiving. So some people stop because they think they're better. Some people stop because they don't think they're getting better and they're too focused on the symptoms. Some people flat out don't stick to their recommendations. And this is a hard conversation to have because it's easy to understand, like, man, if I was your trainer and my job is to get you in great shape and I told you need to work out 5 times a week with me, you're like, well, okay. And then you show up for 2 of them. And you're like, I'm not getting in shape. Exercise isn't for me. No, it's just you're not disciplined enough to make it a priority. And when we talk about a priority, there's 3 major variables for people when it comes to, like, can they stick to a recommendation? There's time. Do they have it in their schedule to be able to make their health a priority? Financial. Can they afford the care necessary to get better? And then quality of care is, do I actually think that this is going to work? Do I believe that this is going to help me reach my health goals? And so for some people, and I'll stop this question here, it's a straight value thing. It's a discipline issue. And so I need to see them 3 times a week, or I need to see them 2 times a week. And they're only seeing me 1 time a week. And they're like, it's just hard to get out here. And I have to have this conversation with them. I have to say, look, if you had cancer and you had to get chemotherapy 3 times a week, would you be able to make that into your schedule? Every single time they say yes. And I say, is it really a schedule issue then, or is it that you just don't value your health as much as you would value cancer if you had it? It's a hard thing to accept, but most people don't value their health, and that's why you don't have it. You have to value health, and your actions must align with that value if you want to be healthy, if you want the benefits of being healthy, which means that you're always in a place where you can protect and serve your family, and your body never fails you from what your spirit wants to accomplish. You want to go climb a mountain, you can climb a mountain. You want to play on the floor with your grandchildren, you can create that experience with your grandchildren. We're not starving them of that memory because that we weren't disciplined and value our health enough to be able to create that experience with them. So it really comes down to what your values are as a human being. and our actions must align with those values. So it's a big question, and there's a lot of reasons why, but I think it comes down to values and discipline.
And it's easier to stay healthy than be sick and try to get healthy.
And it's so much more expensive to treat sickness and to create health. And it might be more on the front end, but it's an investment into health instead of an expensive treating disease. Big time. All right, you got time for one more question. We're popping close to the beginning of our Thursday morning shift, guys. We got a pre-shift huddle coming up here. Let's do one more question, and we'll break it for today.
Okay, I'm gonna leave. What's the best thing that's happened this week?
So I got the pleasure of giving a mom a call, a mom that had to stop her young daughter from getting care, could not afford it. This was a true financial issue. Um, the young daughter was nonverbal, real like flexed forward, and just you could just tell there was she wasn't expressing health and life and love, right? And we found this young family. We started getting this young girl adjusted, speaking again. She's signing to us, and you're seeing massive changes. And mom comes to us, and I can't afford care. And so I reached out to a practice member that started with me in 2017. She and her husband had paid in full for their care. Had asked, and she came in, got all of her care, did really, really great. Unfortunately, she's not getting care from a wellness perspective. I hope she comes back someday, but her husband did not. And I know you remember them. They're wonderful people. And her husband did not get care. So they had a giant credit on their account that they had asked to keep on there for when they came back. And I reached out to this lady and I was like, hey, you've got these adjustments on your account. It's been 6 years. I've got this young girl who really needs care. Without a hesitation, she said, give it to her. Give it to her. And I was like, wow, what a heart, right? So I was able to call this young lady's mom and just tears and gratitude. And she came in yesterday.
The hours after the call came in.
Mm-hmm. And they were telling us, like, we heard, at our post-shift huddle, they were telling, like, mom had talked about letting her know, like, hey, we get to go to the chiropractor today, and how she responded to that. And she was so excited, put her backpack on. She like came into the office and went straight into the adjusting room. She's like taking her coat off as she's coming through the lobby and just excited to get adjusted. Saw Dr. Jordan yesterday, had a great adjustment. And it's just, what a community. What a community. It gives me chills, guys. Like, I'm so thankful for everybody who allows us to care for them. People who we're not currently seeing, we believe and we hope that we're still your chiropractor and our doors are open to you for when you're ready to come back. We just have so much gratitude every single day, and it drives us. It drives us to do what we do, and we're going to always work to get better and serve you guys better. Yeah. So I want to close things up for the week. Thank you for the time, the interview. You didn't throw me under the bus that bad.
I could have.
Super light. Super light today, so thank you for that. In the office this week, we got our soup drive coming up. If you guys want to start, we got people bringing soup already. So if you want to bring soup into the office, feel free to do that already. But that drive will start in February. It seems like we've had a little bit better weather this week. This has been the first week of the year that we haven't been like disrupted by weather. So if you had to miss some appointments, make sure that you're getting those made up over the next few weeks to stay on track with your recommendations. If you have any questions in the rooms, let us know. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the office, okay? Love y'all.